Imagine arriving at a farmhouse and discovering an entire family has been murdered. Days have passed. The bodies are still inside, but something doesn't make sense. The cattle have been fed. The fireplace is still warm. Meals have been prepared. Whoever killed the family never left. For several days, someone lived on the farm alongside the dead. More than 100 years later, no one knows who that person was or why they stayed. Please subscribe, share, and turn on notifications for unanswered evidence. It truly does help. In the spring of 1922, the Hinterkaifeck farm sat alone in the Bavarian countryside, isolated, the nearest neighbors nearly a kilometer away. The farm belonged to Andreas Gruber, who lived there with his wife Cecilia, their widowed daughter Victoria, Victoria's two young children, Cecilia and Joseph, and a new maid, Maria, who'd arrived only hours before. From the outside, it appeared to be an ordinary farming family, but strange events had already begun. Days before the murders, Andreas found footprints in the snow leading toward the farmhouse. They ended at the house, none led back. He reported hearing footsteps in the attic, but found no one there. A set of house keys disappeared. The previous maid had quit suddenly, telling neighbors she believed the farm was haunted. Whether any of it connected to what came next has never been determined. On the evening of March the 31st, 1922, someone came to Hinterkaifeck. One by one, 4 family members were lured into the barn and attacked with a mattock, a farming tool with a heavy metal head. Inside the house, 2-year-old Joseph was killed in his crib. Maria, the maid who'd arrived that day, was murdered in her room. 6 dead, but the mystery was only beginning. The bodies weren't found for 4 days. Neighbors grew concerned when the family missed church and young Cecilia missed school. When people finally entered the property, they found something extraordinary. The livestock fed, fresh meals prepared, the fireplace still used. Someone had remained on the farm, living an ordinary routine, while 6 victims lay dead only rooms away. Police launched one of Germany's largest investigations of the era. More than 100 suspects were questioned. Several confessed, only for their stories to collapse. No evidence ever proved who committed the murders. The scene itself was compromised. Before investigators arrived, neighbors had already walked through the farmhouse and handled evidence, likely lost for good. Theories have followed for a century that the killer was someone the family knew, that it tied to an inheritance dispute or the uncertain paternity of young Joseph, that it was a wandering criminal or someone who knew the property intimately. Each explains part of the evidence. None explains all of it, or why the killer stayed for days afterward. Today, more than a century later, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain officially unsolved. The farmhouse itself no longer stands, demolished years after the crime, but the mystery never disappeared. Not because 6 people were murdered. History holds many unsolved murders. What makes Hinterkaifeck different is what happened after. Someone slept there, cooked there, fed the animals, lived an ordinary life inside a house where 6 people had just been killed. Then, without leaving a single answer, they vanished. If this case caught your attention, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for unanswered evidence so you don't miss the next one. New cases weekly.